Hello, as summer closes, inviting you to spend a cozy long weekend with me making from-scratch meals for my family, enjoying a steady rhythm in the kitchen, stocking up for the season ahead, and celebrating a bit. I'm discovering just how grounding it is to create nourishing meals, rich in flavor and made together. Hope you'll sit back and enjoy. I'm on a bit of a flatbread kick lately, and tonight's dinner is a flatbread pizza. This time I'm using instant yeast though, so the dough comes together super easy and is ready in under an hour. Perfect for a weeknight meal that's still homemade and satisfying. As always, I'm doubling the batch because if we're already putting in the effort, why not make it stretch for 2 meals, right? I like to use at least half all wheat flour here in my dough to add a bit more nourishment, and I never skip the garlic and pizza crust, whatever the recipe is. While the dough is mixing, I move on to a simple white sauce for pizza. It's rich, creamy, and perfect for freezing, so I usually triple this recipe and stash some away for future easy dinners, but was running a little bit low on butter, so I didn't do it here, but do it if you have the chance. Little habits like these keep the kitchen rhythm flowing and make homemade meals feel a lot easier during the week. The dough turned out a little bit sticky today. I added extra water to accommodate the whole wheat flour, but I think I overdid it a bit. Still, it worked out in the end, and honestly, that's just part of the process. Every bake, every meal teaches me something new, I find. Tomorrow we're gonna have some homemade sloppy joes, and I wanna make some homemade hamburger buns to go on them and some baked beans. So today I'm gonna start the sourdough hamburger buns. I've got a big thing of sourdough. I'm making a double batch to make this all worth my effort, and it is an enriched dough with like eggs and milk, which makes it a little bit more filling too. I just need to mix it today, let it bulk rise, and then it goes in the fridge until they need to be rolled out tomorrow. Right after using sourdough, I always feed it. While the spatula is cleanish, doesn't have any other ingredients on it, and so I don't forget. Another trick I really swear by is gently warming the milk or water, no matter the recipe, before adding it to the mix. It just helps activate the starter, leading to a better rise and softer texture. With sourdough, I always mix the wet ingredients first too, and then add in the dry. It just makes everything come together a little bit easier. And today I swapped in half whole wheat flour again. My kids love homemade bread, and using whole wheat just adds a little bit of extra nutrition, more fiber, protein, minerals. I think it's folate, iron, and magnesium. When I originally got this, I had no clue I would use it so much. I would have got it the bigger size. So I'm gonna have to just get this mixed, and then I'll split it in two and knead it separately. The texture was so soft and stretchy, perfect for my little guy to poke, squish, and explore. Watching him play beside me reminded me I really need to make his own batch of like a sourdough out of flour. It's pretty easy and just a simple way for him to join in without me directing him at all. While it takes time, I truly love the process of making bread. It's a rhythm of small, meaningful tasks. There's something deeply satisfying about watching it come together little by little, and in the end, you're left with something that money can hardly buy these days and made with your own hands. We had to pause for a little snack break. Everyone was up from nap, and this week's smoothie and popsicle combo is mango, banana, honey, yogurt, and milk. The boys really like these, and fresh mango isn't something we have often, so it's a nice way to get that in. After a bit of fresh air, everyone came back inside hungry and ready for pizza night. God bless. My baby was so eager to help. I didn't even notice him here. He was trying to cut and be part of the action. It melts my heart. I really need to get him a stand too. One pizza was topped with broccoli, sausage, and white sauce, though I do wish I had added cheese to that one. The second one started as a classic red sauce base with tomatoes and cheese, but someone had been sneaking all the tomatoes, I won't name names, so I improvised a little bit and made it with prosciutto and basil. It turned out so delicious, and sometimes the best meals don't always go as planned. While these aren't quite sourdough, they are quick and a satisfying dinner we can enjoy twice. The next day, I mixed the white sauce and the red sauce together on each pizza, added a big juicy tomato on one. So simple and just right. The cucumbers are overflowing, so I snuck in a quiet moment at night to make a big batch of pickles. Funny enough, my husband and I love snacking on these during our at-home date nights. They're light, tangy, and oddly perfect with a glass of chilled white wine. Simple pleasures, right? I love days like this when I can tuck little bits of cooking throughout the day, not too much at once, just a gentle rhythm of small tasks that add up to delicious meals. It's how I get ahead of the week without ever feeling overwhelmed or spending too much time at once in the kitchen. Honestly, it's the only way I can cook from scratch for my hungry crew, small steps taken consistently. The next morning got started slow and steady, got those soaked beans going for baked beans later, and snuck in a little yard work and time outside. I finally found the right plant for this tricky shaded spot and added some more rocks for drainage. In the fall, I'll edge it with stone and lay down some pine straw, and then I think we'll finally call this little corner done. After lunch, the burger bun dough had risen beautifully, so I had a little helper by my side to cut and shape for the second rise. I love those sweet little moments of kitchen teamwork. While the dough rested again, I got started on the baked beans. As the bacon and onions sizzled away, I stirred together the sauce. It's a tomato sauce, molasses, maple syrup, mustard powder, apple cider vinegar, brown sugar, salt, a splash of chicken stock, probably things that most already have on hand. And I made probably a triple batch here. Of course, this freezes so well, and future me will thank me later. Once the buns were ready, I brushed them with butter, egg wash, and sesame seeds. This leads to a shiny golden top, and that butter just tastes so good. And while they were in the oven, I quickly threw together the sloppy joe mix, which is the easiest part of this all: onion, ground beef, ketchup, brown sugar, Worcestershire, garlic, tomato paste, and spices. Also super easy and satisfying. Tomorrow's my birthday, and I'm keeping things simple and sweet, making a homemade ice cream and muffins for us to celebrate together. Ice cream is surprisingly easy to make, and whatever fruit you have on hand, just blend it up with some sugar, mix it into the base of milk and cream, add a touch of vanilla or almond, and heat it all together. We had a bunch of frozen mangoes in the freezer, so I'm using those up for a tropical twist. For the muffins, I'm using a go-to base recipe that's super flexible. It's perfect for whatever flavor you're in the mood for. I'm doubling it, of course, and making two kinds, a lemon poppy seed, a longtime favorite of mine, and chocolate chip. Funny enough, the boys ended up loving the lemon ones the most. I just split the batter, stirred lemon juice and poppy seeds into one half, and chocolate chips into the other. For some reason, my kids don't really like cake yet, but this tray of muffins feels just as celebratory. It makes for a fun little breakfast treat in the morning, celebrating again at night with a little icing and ice cream. Plus, it's practical as I doubled it and froze half for a snack later. And the trick to a nice puff in the top of the muffin is to bake it for a short time at a higher temperature and then turn it down for the rest.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday.
After lunch, I got that mango ice cream churned into the freezer. I always love watching it spin into something cream and smooth. It feels a bit magical every time. The only downside this machine is a small layer freezes to the ball, but it quickly releases after a little bit of patience. For my birthday dinner, I made one of my all-time favorite pastas, orecchiette, I think I pronounced that right, with sausage and kale. The only change is I always swap out chicken stock for a splash or a little bit of white wine. It just adds so much more flavor. My little sous chef was there right with me, completely in his element, maybe too much in his element. The sausage is browned until crispy, then stir in some minced garlic and deglaze it all with white wine, and then let the kale steam for a few minutes while the pasta finishes. Remember to reserve pasta water that goes in with the pasta to make a super light but very flavorful sauce. I finished it off with some red pepper flakes for the adults. You could add that in earlier if you don't have children, plus plenty of Parmesan for everyone. Truly one of the best pasta dishes ever, simple, hearty, and packed with flavor. If you decide to give it a try, I'd love to hear how it turns out. So glad you followed along with our cozy little celebration. If you're enjoying these moments and meals, don't forget to like and subscribe so you don't miss out on what's coming next, which is a lot of fall content. I can't wait.